What's up, everybody? As you can tell, my voice is still not at 100%, but we're going to get this going anyway. My name is Daniel Harms. This is a film room. Once again, we have Steve Spagnuolo really getting in his bag this week, and I wanted to showcase him being more understanding that you have to do more things. You have a younger group. They're able to really get down and dirty in this defense, and you can mix things up a little bit. So I really wanted to highlight the things that they did well on defense that are going to continue throughout the season and give them a chance to win games even when they don't show up, much like they did against the Colts. There's always a silver lining in these games, and I really think that the defense has been one so far. So let's go ahead and jump in. One of the very first things that I wanted to highlight was the run defense against the Colts. So that was the big thing coming into this game. Stop Jonathan Taylor, and you're going to have a shot in this game. Matt Ryan is not a great quarterback. He is very much a statue. They did try to get him on the move a few times. He tried to get himself on the move, and when he does that, he holds onto the football. So how can you stop Jonathan Taylor and let your defense do what it does best, which is mix up their coverages and really get after the wide receivers with the corners, because that's their best opportunity, is to mix coverages up and really let themselves be free on the back end. So we're going to watch a couple players here. Carlos Dunlap, Colin Saunders, both backup players, also Darius Harris. So what the Colts are doing here, it's really more of a lead play, almost like a lead stretch, a lead off tackle almost, where they're going to pull the center. They're going to have the left guard, or the right guard, blocked down. They're going to pull the center right up through here. They're going to have a wham block on the tight end on the backside. They're going to have Paris Campbell use this jet sweep to try to draw some defenders' eyes and move them that way. That's what they're trying to do. And the big goal here is to get Jonathan Taylor moving this way. You also have, like I said, the jet sweep motion. So you form a lot of movement this way and then get it cut back lane. So it's almost like they're trying to hit a counter play, but they're not. It's a lot like an outside zone that we saw from the Chiefs later in the game, but they try to do all of that, and unfortunately, they're not able to do that. And there's a big reason why. You're going to see Darius Harris not get too entangled by the jet sweep motion, mostly because they are playing man coverage with L'Jarius Sneed on the back end there. So they don't move a ton, okay? They're also not really faked out by the window dressing. So everyone down below does a good job keeping their eyes with the football, identifying where it's going, and getting downhill. Again, Colin Saunders and Carlos Dunlap. Two big parts here. Obviously, Chris Jones, being what he is hard to block regardless. But you're going to see a good job here from Dunlap identifying, look, where's the football? Okay, let me look. Let me find it. Again, Darius Harris, Nick Bolton, backside, George Karlaftis. They're all finding the football. They're doing a very good job staying sound in their discipline and in their actions. But again, Dunlap flashing inside, out, and then outside. So now, Taylor, you can't go this way. You cannot come this way because I am all up in here. I'm in the grill. Kelly's trying to get up through this B gap, but he can't because Colin Saunders is going to kind of nudge him. Then you've got Phil job here, a good job of Harris staying in his lane. You have nowhere to go as Jonathan Taylor. So he's trying to patient this out. And then Justin Reed does a really excellent job of coming underneath the block of Kelly, the center, right there. I'm going to have to go back so you can actually see that. That's annoying. Sometimes it works well and sometimes it doesn't. So you can see right there, he does a good job of coming underneath. He doesn't take out his legs, but he goes low so that he can't do anything. And then you have Colin Saunders getting off his block and Darius Harris filling. They did a really sound job staying in their lanes, staying in their gaps and filling properly and attacking Jonathan Taylor in the backfield. Dunlap, Harris, Colin Saunders, and really Justin Reed did a really great job in this game collectively in all of their assets. And we're going to see again in the next play for another combination of Darius Harris and Carlos Dunlap. Dunlap here and Harris here. These two had a very fun day. We'll just say that because they played off each other well and they kind of used each other's strengths to their advantage. And what we see here is Dunlap is going to be obviously rushing off the edge here, but this is going to turn into more of a three-man rush. You're going to drop out the back defensive end here, and they're just going to sit Oh, sorry, it wasn't defense, man. It was Derek Nottie. Derek Nottie. They're dropping Derek Nottie. They're dropping Derek Nottie. And so what that does is obviously you put a person in that window. Okay, so he's got nowhere to throw over the middle immediately. And when you rush three, you're hoping to get home. You're just kind of hoping that you can disrupt the play, and really get after. So Matt Ryan has nowhere to go with the football. Nice two high safety set, playing essentially cover two underneath, flow. You've got people moving. There's no one open as he's trying to see where the ball's going to go. So as Dunlap closes, okay, Harris understands that the outlet receiver, the guy that's going to get the ball, is going to be the check down guy, which is Nyheim Hines. Flow with the ball. Boom, tackles, 3-yard gain on first down. But it could have been bigger if he wasn't sound, okay? Seeing that and getting it out, they did a really good job on the back end. There's nothing there early. And when plays do take a little bit longer to develop, you have to be able to get some pressure on Matt Ryan. And they did a good job. Again, Carlos Dunlap just kind of long arm extension, but he didn't actually use it. And then he used a swipe. That's what I like to see from Dunlap. He's starting to get in his own bag a little bit more, and we're seeing him step up in this game specifically, but he played well last game too. He's really having himself a coming out party and really helping maybe get himself another contract. I know he's been hurt, but as a part-time player in this defense already, he's shown out, and he's done a really good job of getting to the quarterback and creating small plays. And Darius Harris, great job here again. Filling, seeing that guy coming around and going to tackle him. And we're going to go right back to the well with that Darius Harris and Carlos Dunlap love affair. Again, we're going to see them both working on the same side, and they're going to blow up another play and create a negative play for the offense because Carlos Dunlap beats his guy so quickly that there's nothing that he can do. They were so sound against the run against a team is one of the most run heavy offenses in the NFL through 3 weeks. Like Dunlap is just taking Smith. Boom. I'm going to chop inside. Look at this. This is a really excellent job. We saw Melvin Ingram do this last year too. These veterans that come in, they have sound defensive play. And when you have no threat to hand off this jet sweep, he doesn't have to stay outside. So again, you also have Reed and Harris. They can fill if they have to. So Dunlap makes that calculated risk. So I'm going to come in the backfield and I'm going to get downhill. I'm going to do it quick. And there's nothing you can do about it. Man, this is really jumpy today. But again, Darius Harris seeing it, filling. You've got Leo Chanel coming down. You've got, Chris Jones coming across the face, the backside. Contain was good. Like, there was nothing they could do. But again, this play starts up front with Dunlap making a calculated risk, saying you're not going to hand this ball off. And if you do, I've got players behind me that can do it. But I'm getting in the backfield. I'm knifing in between this gap, and I'm going to let my linebackers fill like they're supposed to do and get downhill, make this tackle with me. Great job. Great job, these two combining, and I love seeing them play like that. And this is really where we get to talk more about Spags, because we haven't seen him be a whole very intuitive and creative a ton with his blitz looks early on, and he's done that a lot this season. So we've got mugged up, okay? And one thing I want to point out before we actually get into the dynamics of the play as we get through this negative play once more time. I want to point out that they've done a really good job of hiding these to the Colts early in this game, and it's hard to prep as an offensive line for what you're seeing when you have, first, it's just Nick Bolton, okay? But then you bring Brian Cook down. He's just going to kind of show a little bit. You've got Justin Reed playing like a dime backer. You've got Juan Thornhill even creeping up a little bit. Now you got L'Jarius Sneed. Who's coming? You have no idea. So they did a really good job of mixing this one up and showing a little bit here, a little bit there, and then they wait, okay? Here they come. And there's no way they stood a chance. And it's because small things, okay? This is a thing that I don't really like to see a whole lot when you have a linebacker mugged up here in Nick Bolton and he has to get out here, but that's what they do. They also drop George Karlaftis off their right side into coverage. So they're going to bring Justin Reed and they're going to bring L'Jarius Sneed off the edge, but obviously they're going to do an overload blitz. That's what this is called. It's just an overload. And it confuses the responsibilities because you have 5-man protection. You're hoping the running back helps if you're Matt Ryan, but you can't really help that much in terms of when guys just get missed completely. But he's going out for a route, so he's just trying to be an outlet. So they just didn't have a shot. It's a really good job by Spags, understanding, oh, I'm all the way behind. Just a really good job of Spags getting in his bag a little bit and really screwing with an offensive line protections and getting free rushers at Matt Ryan, a guy who they knew if they moved around a little bit here and there, he would not complete passes like that. And he can't do things that Justin Herbert can do, that Patrick Mahomes can do when they're on the move. So understanding the situation and the timing, really a good job from them. I mean, when when you're able to get, again, free rushers, just get free rushers. And Nick Bolton downhill is just an absolute maniac. The Chiefs are going to play basically, which is a cover one blitz. So you're going to have, he's a deep safety, and then you're going to have man coverage across the board, okay? Man coverage, man. They might trade off here, switch off, and do a little man matching. But at the end of the day, they're just, yeah, they did a little man match. So he comes across his face, he takes it, but you've got man coverage across the board, okay? Man coverage, man coverage, man coverage, and man coverage. And then you've got linebacker on the running back in the flat. There's nothing. They got absolutely nothing. They just created a huge lane for Nick Bolton to take off on Matt Ryan. And obviously, he's got really strong hands. He's one of the more sure tacklers on the Chiefs defense. And when you're able to create a little bit of pressure early, and honestly, he probably thought that he was coming to, because you've shown that you're willing to send more than one person, but it's just a miscommunication. That's all you're looking to create, and the Chiefs did a great job of creating miscommunications. Again, Chris Jones coming across there as well too, and it kind of takes more of that attention away when you have a player like that who can knife in between gaps. It really does create a problem, and so you have what Kelly should have been doing is taking on Nick Bolton. He doesn't. Chiefs get the sack. Boom. Great job. This is one of the more impressive plays I think I saw from the collective unit. 4th and 1, they got real push up front, okay? They got some incredible push. You're just going to watch the wall right here. Get right there. Look at this. I mean, this is, you have the line of scrimmage. This is the Chiefs defensive line. This is all back in their business. When you got Jonathan Taylor trying to get up, that's why he has to leave his feet. He's not getting a yard if he has to go on the ground here. So the Chiefs did a great job of firing out, keeping that pad level low, and pushing that offensive line back. And then you just get met at the goal line, or excuse me, technically at the goal line here from Nick Bolton, from Carlos Dunlap, and from Darius Harris. Boom! You're not going anywhere. And now I get to show you the better part, because this is where Chris Jones was awesome. Carlos Dunlap was awesome. Just watch Dunlap right here. Watch how he's going to just, boom, lift himself up. That's such great technique. I can't even begin to explain how awesome it is to see that from Carlos Dunlap, just to knife his outside shoulder inside into the chest of this tackle. Look at this. Pad level down, explode up and through, kind of like you're taking a crowbar and you're jacking something up. Just kind of, boom, extends, then you get fill. Get fill. Ugh, this play. I know that at the end of the day, it didn't matter. They ended up losing this game, but this is one of the things that wins you football games. They can continuously have this kind of energy on defense and play this way. They are going to be very tough, especially in these short yardage situations. They got to keep that up. And really, I think the emergence of Carlos Dunlap is helping this defense out. So much fun, man. I just wanted to include this play because Frank Clark gets a lot of crap, and he deserves it, but we get to see a little bit more of Spags being in his bag. So we have a nose tackle, but guess who that is? That's George Karlaftis. You have Frank Clark. I think this is Dunlap. Maybe I'm wrong. Nope, that's Chris Jones. That's the defensive end. So we have a little bit of a mix up here. What they do is they bring that defensive end into the no tackle. You have Tershawn Wharton outside of this wide 9 position. He's going to actually be in man coverage on the running back. So they're only rushing 3 again, but they're going to have Frank Clark attack inside here. You set up wide, you attack inside. Chris Jones is doing kind of the same thing. He's rushing here, but you have like a 3-man front, and then they drop safety down here a little bit. Like they're just getting all kind of different. And the play before was that a really ticky-tacky defensive holding penalty that never should have happened. But this is so fun to watch Steve Spagnuolo just kind of have a day with young, good players and just create a bunch of different looks. Look at this, the rotation. Nick Bolton, like right here. You have Brian Cook at the second level, and then you still have 2 deep safeties. But it's so different. It's so much fun. Like, this is going to be a weekly thing where we get to see Steve Spagnuolo change things up time to time, and it's going to be interesting to see what he continuously comes up with. I imagine Joe Cullen has done a lot of influencing on this defensive line to get them into that situation. So let's look at it from a different point of view so you can really see Frank Clark coming downhill and actually making an impact. I just like seeing a wide 9 type of nickel defense with 1 linebacker on the field. You got Brian Cook coming up, but he just takes Pinter and throws him into the ground and then closes for the sack. It's a really good job. Using that speed to power, something he hasn't been able to do a whole lot of. Just, I mean, there's not a whole lot I can say. Really, they're only rushing 2. They're rushing Chris Jones and Frank Clark. So that was fun. I just like watching them play. And when Spags gets creative, that's when the Chiefs defense is at their best. They play loose. They play fast. They play creatively. They're going to win a lot of games doing that. And that's going to help the offense when they get into a groove, which they will. Try not to overreact to the game. There's a lot of stuff. They'll be fine. They're going to have it figured out. I'm not too concerned about it. And they have a defense up and coming with a creative group and now a creative usage that Spags is really showing us early on in week 3, things that you can count on going forward. So improved run defense. You're seeing a lot of different defensive looks. You're seeing a lot of creative blitzes, and you're also seeing more back end play like he likes to get. I think Brian Cook is going to start to assert himself more in the playing time. This just kind of upgraded that because Willie Gay isn't on the field, but Darius Harris, Colin Saunders, and Carlos Dunlap all were backup players up until recently with Mike Dana and Willie Gay injured. They come in, they make a really big impact defensively for this team. When you have guys that can step up, it helps everybody else out because they also know when you're on the field, they can trust you to do your job. So love seeing that. I think this defense is going to be a lot of fun to watch going forward. That's something, again, we didn't expect going into the season, but they're really picking up the slack and helping the offense get their stuff right, get it together, and they're going to have that done soon, and it's going to be fun to watch when it all comes together. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you guys have any questions, make sure to hit me on Twitter at InHarmsWay19. Make sure to hit that like, the bell, and the sub for the channel. We really appreciate you guys hitting all those likes and getting sub. We're trying to get those numbers up, trying to pump them up. Let's go. Let's get those going. So I'll see you guys next time. Make sure you tune in Thursday and Friday. Thursday, Chief in the North. Friday, we got the game plan. We got done and done. We got so much content for you guys. I can't wait to see what this turns out this season. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching this video from the team at RGR Football. Click these videos to see more and subscribe to RGR Football.